Good afternoon. Today our topic is about modeling and simulations of mixed systems. Okay, so the majority of technical systems they are to be named as a mixed one. So while we are incorporating components from various fields such as electronics, mechanics, software, and other domains, so at the same time it raises the significant design problems. Okay, because the design methodologies and associated design tools have developed for single field only. Okay, so overall function of the system which cannot be investigated until prototype construction phase. However, by the time stage is reached, changes the design is very expensive and time consuming. Okay, so when we are saying about all the technical systems which are to be a mixed one. So what is the solution for that? So we have to consider virtual prototype which allows virtual experiment to be performed on a computer by simulation. So we have to think about that by consideration of the virtual prototype which allows the virtual experiment that is to be performed on a computer by simulation. So possibility when we are saying about over on it, so it will be the transfer of mechanical model into the electronic models over on it. So we'll have a hardware description and apart from that we have a mechanical simulators which permits the inclusions of simple components such as capacitors, resistors or inductance. Okay, so when developing mechanical parts of the system, so what did I have to do it of Abdina? So it is sufficient to describe the electronics in abstract form using controller equations and avoid the circuit level. What about the alternative approach? So in order to model entire electromechanical system as a unit without any preference for electronics and mechanics over that. So it includes bond graph, block diagrams, and then we have a modeling languages such as Modelica. So finally, the possibility of coupling together simulators for different domains with the aid of simulator plan. Okay, so this is the alternative approach for the entire electromechanical system overall. So this is the difference. This is the levels of abstractions for electrical and mechanical models. So in the electronics, we have a electric or magnetic fields. So we'll have electronic components, and then we'll have a digital electronics. So we'll have a software. Whereas the case of a mechanics, so we'll have a mechanical continuum, and then we'll have abstraction. So this is versions versus with respect to the rigid or elastic bodies we have over on it. So this will be taken over that. Okay. So this is carried out in the case of an electronics and mechanics. Whereas in the case of an analogous, so analogous on the level of electronic components and mechanical bodies, which represent the predominant theme running through the joint consideration of electronics and mechanics. So for example, if we are considering a mass spring damper system, so what will happen the differential equation? So which describes system which is nothing but so m differentiation over x double bar plus bx dot plus kx. So we'll have a differentiation of this value. So we have to equate the value of an force. So this is the mechanical system of an analogy system. So we'll have a mass spring damper system. So in this we'll be replacing into a mechanical translation and mechanical rotational system. So in that in the mechanical translation systems, so this force will be replaced by means of an that is applied force will have a voltage, and when you have a spring there is K which is replaced by inductance, and then damper will be replaced by resistance, and then B will be there is phase shift will be done by means of an capacitance. So this is the two analog circuits with respect to the parallel combinations and the series combinations. So when you are defining here, so we'll have a IL is equivalent to 1 by L into of an US by dt. Similarly, whereas in the case of an IR is equivalent to US by R, so IC is equivalent to C into US. This and all we are studied in Kirchhoff's voltage law and the Kirchhoff's current law. So that equations will become what will happen now. 1 by L of US into dt plus UC by R plus C into US dot which is equivalent to IS. So when you are saying about the magnetic flux, so which has the following relationships of the voltage, so we'll have of an US over on it. So the voltage US is analogous to velocity. So as an integral of the voltage which represents the deflections. So thus equations which can be formulated as follows. So we can have over on it. Okay. Similarly, the capacitance which is linked to mass over here. So the damping to the inverse of resistance and the spring constant to the inverse of inductance. So lastly, the current is of the source corresponds with the activating force F. So alternatively, we can also associate forces with voltages and velocities with currents. So in this case, the voltages are the counterpart to the currents, must add up to 0 and therefore must be arranged in a loop. See the right hand side of the following applies. So we'll have about an inductance with respect to the current and resistance with respect to the current and the integrations of a capacitance with respect to the current. So if we formulate the equations with the aid of the charge, so it becomes so LQ double dot plus RQ dot plus 1 by C of Q equivalents to US over on it. Okay. So what are the limits of the analogous? So we'll have a based upon linear relationships. However, these circumstances often cannot be guaranteed one. So for example, the Stokes friction or viscous friction has a linear relationship with velocity in a first approximation and can thus be represented as a resistance term. So however, so this is very definitely not the case for the Coulomb friction. So we can differentiate between two states of static and sliding friction. So furthermore, the Coulomb friction is not dependent upon velocity but on another variable, the perpendicular force over on it. So the Newton friction of bodies which moved quickly through a fluid finally depends upon a few parameters such as the frontal area, the drag coefficient and the density of the fluid, but above all on the square of the velocity. In order to construct an analogy for the Coulomb friction, we need a resistance controlled via the normal force, that is, via the corresponding current, which switches the coefficient of friction in an event oriented manner upon the transition from static to sliding friction and vice versa. The Newton frictions of bodies moved through a fluid, on the other hand, can best be represented as a resistance with the quadratic characteristics. So the transition from one dimensional to three-dimensional mechanics, which represents the limit of the consideration of analogous. So the analogous can no longer be used. In this case, at the example of a robotic arm, in the calculations of kinematics and dynamics, three-dimensional translation moments and triaxial rotational moments are calculated independently of one another. There is no parallel to this in electronics. So we'll have analog electronics, translation, rotation. So in the current, we have to replace by force in the case of translation, and rotation, it has to be replaced by tag. So we know that rotation current will be I. So we'll have a F and M to be the tag. So if we are having a voltage, it has to be replaced by velocity and angular velocity. And we know that B and omega. Whereas coil has to be replaced by spring and torsional spring. So we'll have the notation L into di by dt, 1 by k of d by df by dt. Similarly, 1 by k of dm by of dt by dt. Whereas capacitors has to be changed into inertia and rotational inertia. So we'll have a m of value. Resistor has to be changed with the damping and rotational damping. Whereas the electrical power dissipation at the resistors, which is equivalent to R, and we'll have a mechanical power dissipation due to damping and similarly over on it. Whereas in the case of an electrostatic energy, we'll have a kinetic energy in the translation rotational. Whereas transformer will have a lever and gear, whereas sum of all currents at a node is zero, whereas sum of all forces at a point is zero, sum of all moments at a point is zero. Whereas in the case of and sum of all voltages in the closed loop is zero. Similarly, sum of all relative velocities in a closed loop is zero. So this will be taken. So when the case of and differences between electronics and mechanics, so electronics can be considered exclusively in topographic form in the simulation. The precise geometry is unimportant or can be considered using simple parameters. So this is not the case in mechanics where three components of translation and three components of rotation have to be taken into account. So translation and rotation cannot be considered independently of one another as illustrated by gyroscopic force such as Coriolis force. A whole range of reference systems are relevant to the description of position, movement and acceleration. Whereas in the case in mechanical, inertial systems and various fixed body reference systems, the origin of which may lie approximately at the center of gravity or at the coupling points. In electronics, there is only a reference voltage as the inertial system, and the voltage or current arrows as fixed component reference systems. In electronics, and in particular in microelectronics, we sometimes have some tens of millions of components. So in mechanics, at most a few tens to a few hundreds of basic elements, example rigid bodies, joints, springs, etc., have to be taken into account. The movements of mechanical bodies are typically subject to a whole range of limitations. So mechanics chops are one example. So springs can only be extended up to a certain degree. So elastic bodies deform under the effects of force. So similar effects can also be found in electronics, but they are far less prominent than is the case in mechanics. So by that, this topic gets over. So the remaining thing that we can see in the next class. Okay. Thank you all.